Hello, my name is Christopher Jayawardena. I am the person behind Dark and Moody Productions, and typically I prefer to usually show movies rather than talk about them too much on this channel. People are struggling right now, independent artists are struggling right now, and I felt like it'd be a good time to kind of give back to my fellow Pacific Northwest filmmakers and discuss some of the movies that I've seen from this area, filmmakers that I like, films I've liked, maybe even explore a few that I'm meaning to get around to, and just kind of review them here on this channel. It's an opportunity to discuss one of my personal favorite local filmmakers. He's a good guy, he's a friend of mine, and the thing is, Joe Sherlock is the kind of filmmaker that if you're not familiar with, he's got a brand. There's a certain style, there's a very much, you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. And I really just want to go ahead and just get into what I feel is bona fide one of the best examples of Joe's work. It's my personal favorite of his movies that he's done. And it's a really great example of the eclectic, independent films that are made here in the Pacific Northwest. So we're going to start with Drifter. So basically the movie starts as pretty typical slasher fare. You have the legend of the Blood House, you have a trio of partying doofuses, getting wasted in the first 10 minutes. You have the person who commits the murder commits suicide, and there might be some sort of essence of whoever stays in the house too long, things go wrong. And then you see this drifter coming into the house to try to just have a place to stay the night and stay away from the cold and the wet and Oregon weather and everything. And, watching him slowly start to kill more and more people who then start to come to the house. It's a slasher film, basically. It's people go to this house and they get killed. So you have a body count that's rising. We've got creepy, weird stuff going on. You've got your horror movie lighting, boobs, blood. It's on.
That sounds like those things that happened at that Blood House.
It was the Blood House.
Dawn!
You've got your synth soundtrack, very Carpenter. You've got, the wonderfully campy acting, especially the actor Richard Johnson, who plays the realtor, who's trying to sell the Blood House. This guy's delivery is amazing.
I just hired David last week to paint this place. Do you have him in custody?
He did himself in the back room.
So there's blood in there too?
It's funny, it's watchable, it's likable. This is capital B filmmaking, which is absolutely said with the most love that I can possibly give it. The other thing that's wonderful about this movie is, above all, is Bob Olin.
Oh my God, we're just leaving.
Bob Olin, in many ways, is the person that grounds this movie in a fashion that Joe's films don't always have a tendency of reaching. And that's why I feel like Drifter is a significantly better film than some of the other films that he's done. You're getting to see this guy slowly being influenced by this dark, evil Blood House and seeing what it's doing to him and seeing the little subtle changes in the makeup as the film goes along and seeing him kind of shake and shiver and deal with whatever influence is getting under his skin. It has the great balance of a strong, heavier performance from Bob and kind of the darker elements of the story that get revealed towards the conclusion. And it still has this kind of morbid but cute sense of humor throughout, and it's just an absolute blast to watch. I really enjoy it.
Michael!
Oh, what are they gonna do? Arrest us for trespassing? It's a vacant house, come on.
Why did I even marry you?
Because of my enormous penis.
It's not to say it's not without some pacing issues. The second act and a bit of the third act kind of slow down a little bit as the story sort of winds down.
Dawn, have you even heard a word I've said?
Sally and something.
But the thing that consistently keeps you going is the characters that are present in the movie. There's often something very lovably small town about them, and those are supported really well by the performances.
Ice cream?
Keep those in the cooler?
I don't know if it's on the Vimeo release of this film, but on the DVD, there is behind the scenes where you get to see them hanging out and it's just kind of B-roll of them just making the film. As a filmmaker myself, it brings back those warm memories of, getting together with my friends to make my early films, and it's sort of like Joe never stopped making movies with his buddies. So that means that whenever he gets people into his pictures, often there's this certain rapport, there's a certain energy that everyone's there to have a good time. I'm somebody who, I look at cinema as something that can be many, 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 many different things, and I believe that one of the things it can be is a really good time making movies with your friends or sharing those movies with your friends. This is a film I absolutely recommend you either add to your collection or you get it on streaming, you introduce your friends to it, and once you have this in your life, if you know that Joe Sherlock is a filmmaker that you want to see more of, go find his other stuff. They're wild, they're crazy. Pretty much, if you like Drifter, you're pretty much guaranteed to have a great time with everything else that Joe does. That's the review for now. I hope that I've been able to introduce you to something good and wild and insane. And here's hoping that this is not the last review that I do like this, but if it is, okay, then that's what happened. I tried an experiment and it failed, which happens a lot. But anyway, Joe Sherlock, Drifter, go check it out. And we'll be coming back with some other films, hopefully in the future, and ones that'll be different. Not to say necessarily better, just different. But anyway, please stay safe out there, all of you out there in the darkness, as I currently am. And those of you that are watching my films, thank you, and please watch more of those. But I think we're just going to leave it at that. And I don't know, I don't have any way to sign off on these things yet, so we're just going to see what happens. But until next time, take care, party on, be excellent to each others.
That guy is cold.
Stone cold.